Little Canada and Thunder Bay, a tale of two sister cities. The cities of Little Canada, Minnesota and Thunder Bay, Ontario, though separated by approximately 350 miles or 540 kilometers, have maintained a friendly relationship as sister cities since 1978. This bond is a natural extension of the peaceful, neighborly relationship enjoyed between the people and the governments of the United States and Canada since the mid-1800s. The border between the two countries has often been referred to as the world's longest undefended border. In addition to the shared physical lengths of the two cities, such as their common national border and similar climate and vegetation, the history of Little Canada reveals a common heritage with its neighbors to the north. Little Canada's founder was Benjamin Gervais, a Canadian trapper and trader also known as a voyageur, who became a farmer after his marriage to Geneviève Larand in 1823. The couple first settled in the bluffs overlooking the Mississippi River, which is present-day downtown St. Paul. As this area became more populated, Ben went in search of more space. By 1844, Ben had purchased land north of St. Paul where he built a log cabin for his family and constructed Minnesota's first grist mill using the power of Jarvis Creek to grind flour. He and his wife raised their large family there and lived on that land until his death in 1876. Many French-Canadian families followed Benjamin Gervais to the area he had settled as word spread by mouth and letters drawing them to this land that they called Petit Canada. Together they built homes, worked the land, and raised their families in the tradition of their Canadian parents. Many of these early settlers were Catholic, and in 1851 the pioneers constructed a log building, establishing St. John's Church, the third oldest Catholic parish in Minnesota. The popularity of this area with Canadian immigrants can be seen in the many French-Canadian surnames and parish records. Today, Little Canada is a small city with a population of about 10,000. Its residents strive to be good neighbors, value education, and understand the importance of civic involvement. It continues to be proud of its heritage and to hold great respect for the hard-working French-Canadian pioneers who founded its community. In comparison, Thunder Bay is a much larger city located on the northwest shore of Lake Superior. It has a rich history originating with the fur trade between the Ojibwe people and the French voyageurs as early as 1678 and later with British fur traders. Forestry and shipping industries sparked westward expansion, brought increased settlement, and several township governments were established in the late 1800s. In 1970, Port Arthur and Fort William merged with a few smaller towns to form the city of Thunder Bay. With a population of about 125,000, Thunder Bay today is the 10th largest city in Ontario. The United States Bicentennial in 1976 motivated the citizens of Little Canada to come together for a city celebration. Little Canada's Independence Day festivities included a Little Miss Canada pageant, a talent show, a jam session with a sing-along, a square dance performance, the dedication of Spooner Park, fireworks, and a parade. The bicentennial celebration was a huge hit with the community, so much so that many people wanted to have a celebration every year.
Well, I started out with the bicentennial, and I had so much fun, and so did all the patrons. So I went to the city council and I asked them if we could start Little Canada Canadian Days, and they approved it. And then I went to Sharon and I asked her to help me, and that's how it started.
The planning committee that came together consisted of a core group of 5 people: Sharon Clausen, Irene Giampaolo, Ray Hansen, Glenn Gibbons, and Roger Runyon. These 5 became the driving force behind the creation and organization of Little Canada's annual community gathering.
I was born in Thunder Bay, and that's where I turned to when we started Canadian Days to get support. And I wrote the City Council, and they sent us down a flag of Thunder Bay.
Mayor Valento and council members Bob DeBase, Ray Hansen, Roy Nadeau, and Murph Jesperson all voted to approve the committee's proposal to twin Little Canada with Thunder Bay.
So we had the photographer from the White Bear Press there, and he took the picture of the thing, and we ran the flag up the flagpole, And we had this newspaper article, sent that back to Thunder Bay, and so then we got the support we were looking for.
The press coverage was well received in Thunder Bay, and in return, Canadian officials declared Little Canada as their sister city on June 30th, 1978. Thunder Bay embraces the sister city concept and has a very dedicated committee that has established several international relationships since 1974. Little Canada was their second sister city. Their other partners are Seinäjoki, Finland, Duluth, Minnesota, Keelung, Taiwan, and Gifu, Japan. The Thunder Bay Tourism Program is both a major promoter and a key benefactor in the fostering of their sister city relationships. Over the years, Little Canadians have made the 6-hour scenic drive to Thunder Bay and have enjoyed panoramic views of Lake Superior, tourist attractions such as Fort William Historical Park, and cruises on the Kaministiquia River aboard the Welcome Ship.
Our cruise ran from Thunder Bay North to Old Fort William, and then back, and in the afternoon we ran harbor cruises around the harbor. Well, we had a lot of people on from Little Canada on board the Welcome Ship, and did I not do a fake wedding? They said captains can perform a wedding, but I said yes, on the deep sea, but not on the river or the Great Lakes. And they said, well, can you do it for us anyhow? And I said yes. I don't know whether they're still married.
Actually, they are.
Gail Brescia recalls one of the events that Thunder Bay planned for the Little Canada visitors.
When we went in 1978, at that point I was working for the city, and I was working as a travel counselor in the summer tourist bureaus, and with Paul Drombolis that used to be involved with the Sister City campaign. So it was nice to get re-involved, and we used to do Bobby nights and English pub nights. So there was a group of us that worked for Paul, and we would do song and dance and sing-alongs with all of the people that came with Sister Cities, and there was a little bit of gambling, and there was lots of fun, lots of entertainment, and lots of camaraderie. So.
Thunder Bay offers a wide variety of fishing, hiking, camping, and skiing opportunities.
Okay. Well, the drive from Little Canada to Thunder Bay is about 6 hours, so it's really easy to get to. And in fact, the drive along the north shore of Minnesota from about Duluth to Thunder Bay is spectacular. I mean, it's one of the best highways, one of the best scenic drives in the United States. Great things to do, great hospitality, great attractions, fresh air, great outdoor experiences, and great cultural experiences as well.
The incomparable scenery around Thunder Bay has inspired many legends. The town crier at historic Fort William delights visitors with local folklore.
Kekabeka Falls is about 15 miles west of Thunder Bay, and the falls have a 128-foot drop, and usually there's about 15 gallons a second of water going over the falls at any time. And Green Mantle was an Ojibwe princess. She was the daughter of the chief, and she was out collecting berries, and the Sioux tribe captured her, and they were trying to force her to show them where her father's tribe was, where they were located in their encampment. So she said, she agreed to, and she said, I'll go in the lead canoe. And she took them down the Kaministiquia River in the lead canoe and took them right over the falls and saved her tribe. And they say now that sometimes when the mist is heavy on Kekabeka Falls, you can see the outline of a woman's face, and this is Green Mantle, the princess.
Since 1977, the Canadian Days Committee has organized several bus trips and once even a plane trip to provide transportation from Little Canada to visit Thunder Bay and attend some of the many world-class events held there over the years. Canadian Days Committee members, residents, city officials, and their families have enjoyed rendezvous days, the 1995 World Nordic Ski Championships, Robert Burns Dinners, International Friendship Days, the Folklore Festival, and Riverfest. The dedication of the Terry Fox Monument on June 26, 1982, was another Thunder Bay special event attended by several Little Canada dignitaries. This statue was erected in memory of the courageous amputee runner who embarked on a run across Canada to raise money for cancer research. Worsening health ended his marathon of hope after 143 days on September 1, 1980, just northeast of Thunder Bay. He died of cancer in 1981, but his legacy continues with the annual Terry Fox Run, held in Canada and around the world. The monument is set on a foundation of locally mined amethyst. In 2000, the Thunder Bay Sister City Committee organized a Sister Cities Millennium Festival and worked very hard to bring representatives from each of their partnered cities together. A delegation of Little Canada officials, Girl Scouts, and Boy Scouts participated in the event, along with 7 of Thunder Bay's other sister cities, providing all in attendance the opportunity to meet people and to make friends from around the world.
The highlight for me is the opportunity to meet people from different cultures. And we've had many opportunities to do that, but the situation was that we can meet them in a very casual, relaxed community way. And in the year 2000, we celebrated our Festival of the Millennium of the City by having over 70 people in 5 different languages together at the same time for, I think it was 4 days. And it just was a tremendous experience for all of us, for the guests as well as our local people, that we were able to meet everyone.
The members of the Thunder Bay Sister City Committee are gracious hosts who have invited many Little Canada guests into their homes where hospitality, stories, and laughter are shared.
And it's always nice to have people come to visit you and come to share your home and your hospitality and the warmth and friendship.
Food is often a highlight of these get-togethers.
And it's deep fried ravioli, which is, I'm sure, a very private joke with Little Canada and Thunder Bay. And that, to me, is very special.
Well, I love this potluck, that I get to know everybody. We talk to everybody, and I thought that was really something. It was, to me, that's really nice, that you get to know everybody. And I like this potluck business more than anything.
Little Canada is a much smaller city than Thunder Bay in both area and population, but it provides Thunder Bay with a conduit to the resources in the wider Twin Cities metropolitan area.
Currently, a lot of our visits, we go to Minneapolis to watch the Twins and the Blue Jays, naturally. Green team.
Sure.
Like this year, we were there in, May, the first game that was there. And the yearly visits, maybe three times a year, there was shopping, Mall America, and this type of thing.
The relationship also helps Thunder Bay promote tourism.
And we work in partnership with the state of Minnesota to promote the whole area, to promote Minnesota and Ontario together. And we're working to promote the Circle Tour.
What Little Canada may lack in physical size, it makes up for in a genuine commitment to promote friendship between the two communities.
And this is my first time down here, and I love it. It's a warm place to be. The people are hospitable, gracious. I love the atmosphere. It takes me back, actually, to the, kind of hate to say the good old days, but the good old days. I'm glad they're still here somewhere in America. That's good.
In the formula that makes up our partnership, the Canadian Days Festival has been the constant. The first official Canadian Days celebration was held the second weekend of August in 1977 and has been held every August ever since. It was created not only for the enjoyment of Little Canada residents, but also to promote and celebrate the two cities. To that end, the citizens of Thunder Bay are invited to and are an integral part of the festivities every year. At the first Canadian Days, the Thunder Bay delegation included Mayor Walter Assef, representatives from Old Fort William, and the McGilvery Pipe Band.
That trip to Little Canada was the first summer I played with the pipe band. And it was a wonderful experience. I remember being with the band. I remember playing with the military band as well, the brass band. And they had the military honor guard there too. So it was fabulous as a young piper to play in that organization, not only the pipe band, but as a mass band with a military band. It was a wonderful summer. And coming to Little Canada was fantastic.
Little Canada's Canadian Days Festival, held in Spooner Park, has evolved over the years, but has always incorporated the Thunder Bay connection in its festivities. It once hosted the Lake Superior Scottish Regiment and a formal cotillion ball, with Governor Rudy Perpich in attendance to greet Provincial Member of Parliament Mickey Hennessy. There have been exhibits from Old Fort William and Tourism Thunder Bay, many Scout camping jamborees, and even a Rotten Tomato food fight featuring the mayors of both cities. Jerry Spees, who is known for crossing both the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans in his home-built sailboat, the Yankee Girl, was invited to participate in the festival in 1979.
One of our crowning glories was, do you remember when Jerry Spees crossed the Atlantic?
Sure.
Well, he came home to all this press, and he's on the talk show circuit in New York. And I'm seeing all this on TV, and I'm thinking, we got to get him to Canadian Days. So I called my friend at Old Fort William, gal by the name of Pat Forrest, and I said, Pat, can you get us a canoe to present to Jerry Spees? And she said, Sharon, I can't do that. She said, that's take an act of Parliament. And I said, so get them to act. And I badgered her. So she comes down with this, says, okay, I'll be down with this birch bark canoe. So anyway, and at that time we were getting politicians down. The Member of Parliament from Thunder Bay, Rudy Bosch was here, Walter Assev. And so they come down and they've got this canoe, and it's being brought down by the Indian who had actually built it at Old Fort William, a fellow by the name of Gilbert. And Gilbert comes down, and he's not happy about giving this canoe to this Yankee upstart. And he quite frankly, he was pissed.
Yeah.
So anyway, they've got the stage and everything set up at the marketplace, and the Lake Superior Scottish Regiment was putting on their show, and Gilbert standing at the base of this stage with his canoe, and Jerry Spees and all the dignitaries are up there. So he hands his canoe up. It stays down, but he hands it up, and then Jerry Spees got up, and he started to talk about the engineering genius of the Native American, or as they called it, the First Nation Canadian, and how they built these canoes and how they were engineers beyond their time. Well, this Gilbert, who had not cracked a smile, was smile from ear to ear, and Jerry Spees had just elevated him so beautifully, and that was just really special.
Over the years, cultural gift exchanges honor the special friendship between the cities. These gifts include paintings by local artist Bev Scalzi, who served on the Little Canada City Council for 24 years and now serves in the Minnesota House of Representatives.
I have a painting in Little Canada City Hall. It's called Pride 2. It's Canada geese, and so I sometimes refer to it as Little Canadas because it's baby Canada geese.
Artwork of Thunder Bay artist Dick Spooner has been featured at the celebration. A painting of St. John's Church that was unveiled in 2002 during an official visit to Thunder Bay and later accepted as a gift to the City of Little Canada at Canadian Days is now on display at the church. In the words of Dick Spooner, I always looked forward to visiting Little Canada, not only because it sounds like where I come from, but because of the unequaled hospitality, generosity, and downright good nature of the folks that live there. During Canadian Days, Little Canada has had the honor of welcoming dignitaries from Thunder Bay who attend the annual 3-day festival. Every mayor that has held office in Thunder Bay since 1977 has participated in the parade, and many city councilors have also attended.
I didn't know what to expect at first. I was going there blind. I've never been to Little Canada. I know I've driven to Minneapolis many times, but I never veered off the other way to St. Paul. When I first approached the place, I was pleasantly surprised to see Little Canada, little flags on the sign and things like that. And I saw these signs indicating the festival. When I showed up at the site, I was kind of taken aback because it reminded me of going back in time, like the small community-based fun activity. And we're missing that sometimes. And I really felt like I was going back into my roots, because we grew up having small functions in our community, and it felt like a community. And when we got there, the people made us feel like we were superstars, I guess. Very welcoming, very warm, very genuine. Obviously, there had been a relationship that was built over the years. I wasn't part of it at that time, but I'm certainly part of it now, and I want to continue being part of it. I just got to say, I was so surprised at the feeling I had. I just felt so good being there. I was so disappointed my wife had to be at another function, but I wanted to, next year I'm going to come back and try to get her there and get my friends there. I can see this relationship going forward. And it's funny because doesn't seem to be a real agenda. It just seems to happen, seems to flow. And so all I can say, I was extremely pleased. I was enlightened as to the history of what was going on there, and I was happy. I was very happy I went. I was very fortunate to go, and I'm looking forward to going back next year, that's for sure.
During his tenure as Thunder Bay Mayor, Ken Boshkoff was the recipient of Little Canada's hospitality many times as he partook in the Canadian Days festivities. In June 2004, Ken was elected as a federal member of parliament serving his constituents in the Thunder Bay Rainy River riding. In 2007, he sent this greeting to the folks in Little Canada.
The relationship that we have with Little Canada has always been very special, very important, and it really shows the things that we have in common. And that's how you build friendships. That's how you build relationships between two of the best countries in the whole world. And we're very fortunate to be friends and to continue the relationship.
Fort William Town Crier Bonnie Gauthier has announced proclamations, and the Consul General of Canada has participated in the opening ceremonies. Officers from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police attended the festivities in 1998 and again in 2007. The residents enjoyed the opportunity to visit and have their pictures taken with the officers wearing their famous red uniforms.
Our uniform that you see today is our ceremony uniform. That's this uniform been the same since 1903.
Many Little Canada residents hold a special place in their hearts for the McGilvery Pipe Band, who has performed at all of the festivals since 1976. Listening to the pipers play Amazing Grace as they marched over a small green hill in Spooner Park on a beautiful Sunday morning to open the annual worship service has become a cherished memory for many.
The church service, as you recall, we used to have in the little amphitheater down there. And the band used to sort of come from over the hill, behind the hill, and over the hill. And I'm sure the crowd thought that was really lovely, and it was exciting, and the band appeared out of nowhere. And the band was always scared because we were afraid somebody was going to slip on the grass on that hill and wipe out everybody else. And that was we always sensed that would have been a very bad start to the church service.
The members of the band have a special bond with the Datko and Brule Harkey families who live across the street from Spooner Park.
We've enjoyed it every single year, and it seems like it gets better every year.
After the Sunday parade, a casual jam session is just the thing before the long drive home.
I think right from day one, back in 1976, when I first started the band, we realized that the people of Little Canada were so gracious to us and so friendly, and over the years have become friends. So it's not just a parade, it's not just an event for us, it's actually a time that we can get back to see friends and our families come, and we really enjoy that time.
Many Thunder Bay Sister City committee members have also made the trek to Little Canada to enjoy Canadian Days. They are invited to a reception in Spooner Park hosted by the Canadian Days Committee, and it has become a tradition for them to have dinner with the mayor as well.
So we all gathered in his dining room, and it was lovely, and we had lots of fun, and it was wonderful.
They partake in all of the festivities, including the Grand Parade, and some have even served as Grand Marshals. The parade and the fireworks have become perennial favorites for our Thunder Bay friends.
I love the relaxed feeling. I love the friendly atmosphere. I love the parade. But you know what? Your fireworks are absolutely spectacular.
We all got together and we drove over to the area where we were supposed to marshal. And it was just too wonderful. I looked over and there we were passing something called Thunder Bay Mall. And it occurred to me that this truly is a wonderful, wonderful relationship.
Participate in a parade and you see the Canadian flags or even the Little Canada flag with the maple leaf in it all the way down the parade route.
The hospitality, welcome, and friendship that Little Canada extends to Thunder Bay during Canadian Days is recollected by many visitors.
What sticks out in my mind is the friendliness and the hospitality that we received.
The one trip that we made down to Little Canada was when my sister and husband and 2 kids came over from England. They were staying with us here in Thunder Bay.
Okay.
And we took them down to Little Canada. And they had one whale of a time because they'd never seen anything like this. Well, the hospitality that you people put on.
One hotel room, any place around the world could be the same hotel room. And I think the the joy and the treat of visiting Little Canada, as we've been honored to have you here in our homes, was to visit your homes.
Different people have invited us into their homes when we've been down there. In fact, we've always been invited into homes. And I feel very, very fortunate that we have friends in places like that I feel very comfortable with. So it's just a very special relationship.
Little Canada Canadian Days is an event that our families and our pipe band members can get together, come to Little Canada, enjoy the friendship of the people from Little Canada, and enjoy the families together as well.
Meeting people and getting to know people over the years and becoming friends, and that doesn't happen when you go necessarily to some of these other little communities. You go and you know one or two people, and it's always the same kind of thing, but this is just a special bond there, I think. It's been quite an honor for the band.
For more than 30 years, Canadian Days has grown into a well-loved community celebration that continues to host a parade and fireworks, and also includes a wide variety of events and activities for all ages, such as the classic car show, musical entertainment, the Historical Society display, a dunk tank, 2 corn feeds, a pancake breakfast, the 5K run, kitten ball and volleyball tournaments, a senior appreciation event with bingo, a boat parade, a kiddie parade, and the children's games in LC's Playland.
We're really enjoying ourselves. I think it's very wonderful.
It's great for the grandkids.
Why do you love Canadian Days? I love Canadian Days because there's lots of rides.
I love Canadian Days. I love the people. I love the bands. I love the food. It's just fun.
I love Canadian Days because it is the best festival I work, and I work a lot of them. The people are really nice. No problems with everybody. Everybody's polite. The nicest people in this town.
I love Canadian Days because it brings people together to celebrate life, have a good time, listen to good music, have some good food.
I love Canadian Days because it brings out the best in a community, makes us all come together and have a good time.
I love Canadian Days because it brings back wonderful memories of sweating in the LC costume. Although if kids are listening, LC's a real raccoon. I like Canadian Days because I'm the Budwender. I like Canadian Days because it's exciting and there's lots of people and it's just fun.
I love Canadian Days because I think it's a great time to interact with the community and meet new people and hang out with your friends.
Just the cars and the parade and the food, all the food. So I get to help out. You can see all your friends before school starts.
I like well Canadian Days is the kitten ball tournament.
Playing kitten ball, that's why we come back every year. There's all sorts of parades and stuff.
The reason I like it, I've been here ever since they started.
Oh, just hanging out in the sun.
The community and the family, it's a huge here. The closeness is unbelievable around here. You haven't seen it in a long time.
Because it's such a community event.
I love watching the kitten ball games. They're a lot of fun.
I like Canadian Days because of all the food. I like Canadian Days because I want a flower.
I got these cool shirts.
Well, this is my first time, but I really like the car show, and the band that's playing right now is really awesome.
I like Canadian Days because I get to see my whole neighborhood, which I never get to see the rest of the time of the year.
Canadian Days is the best because
And good bands?
we like the fireworks. We like the fireworks and
they have cold beer.
It's a good day to have a good day.
I love Canadian Days because everybody comes together in the community and meets up with all their friends and they just have a lot of fun.
I see all my neighbors and friends in one place. I just like the activity.
I love Canadian Days because of the food. Because I like the rides and the jumping stuff. The caterpillar and all the fun games.
I love Canadian Days because it's a great place to play. I'm in the banjo and the whales. It's a beautiful night.
I love Canadian Days because I get to spend it with all my great friends that I work with.
I love Canadian Days because it's fun.
Well, it's a great time. All my neighbors are up here. We enjoy each other. Canadian Days because I'm on the Brew Crew.
I love Canadian Days because we travel to a lot of festivals, and of all the festivals we go to, this one is the most fun. They have the best music and the best people.
I like Canadian Days because it gives us a chance to see some of our old-time friends.
Because it's like a small community that gets together and just has a great time.
I
I love the McElroy Pipe Band.
All my friends are up there.
I love Canadian Days because it brings the whole community together for a wonderful festival and fun time.
I love Canadian Days because there's a lot of interesting people to meet here. I love Canadian Days because there's a lot of hot guys here.
Because it's fun. We get to see a lot of friends that we haven't seen from school, and it's a lot of fun.
We like the music.
Canadian Days buttons have been sold every year since 1977 to help support festival expenses. L.C. the Raccoon, the Canadian Days mascot, was born in 1991, along with the tradition of Little Canada students designing the buttons. Each year, LC invites children to submit designs incorporating the annual theme, the date, and the names of both cities. The schools can incorporate local heritage and civic involvement into their curriculum, not to mention an outlet for some very creative ideas. Luke McWraith, the 2002 button winner, was invited by Thunder Bay to submit an original drawing, which was compiled into a poster that included artwork from children representing each of their sister cities.
Well, this is our poster. It's a project. It's the brainchild of Elaine Waring, the chair of the Sister Cities Committee in Thunder Bay. She had a thought that one of the important things in the Sister City movement is to involve young children so that they learn about each other all around the world. They come to understand different cultures and see that really we're all the same down at the bottom. So Elaine came up with the idea of asking each of our sister cities to have a student from a school design a picture, somehow communicating the idea of friendship, hands in friendship around the world. And so it took a long time. It wasn't the easiest thing to do because of some language challenges, but we've done it, and in 2006 it was complete. The central picture here was done by a school, children in Thunder Bay, and they really captured the whole point of the project, which is neighbors around the world, and this little picture, the hands joined in friendship of all these little children. So we included all the maps of all of our sister cities. So we have a picture from Singapore, which is a family, and everyone seems to be sort of holding hands and being all friendly. We have a picture from Taiwan, which seems to be some kind of celebration with all sorts of people. Again, friendly, friendship. We have from Duluth, we have a number of different hands encircling a globe, and that's one of our sister cities. From Seinäjoki, Finland, we have the same image. Ironically, none of these children had talked. The same image of the hands joined in friendship. This particular picture is actually 5 feet square, and it was reduced to fit into the poster. So it was very, very lovely. This is from Bungpurungu, Ghana. The children drew their idea of friendship around the world, and they drew a little village. And when we actually got together and met to put these pictures on, Dick Spooner, who you know is such a wonderful friend of Little Canada, helped us with the actual organizing of the graphics, and this was his favorite picture. He felt that it was just the most charming, the most beautifully composed of all the pictures we had, which is very interesting. So there was that picture. This one of peace and the globe and the child is from Italy. And from Japan, we have a child, again, 2 children, and friendship, playing music. Obviously, singing is another way. And I saved this one till last. It's the best one. It's from our sister city, Little Canada. And this one, I've said to a number of people before, reminds me very, very much of the beautiful little children's story by Antoine Saint-Exupéry called The Little Prince. And in it, there are childlike illustrations. And one of them has the world, and the little prince kind of standing right on top of the world. And it's hard to see because it's small, but there are little children all around the world sort of reaching out their arms as if they're trying to touch each other. So we're very proud of this.
The Canadian Days Festival has become integral to the City of Little Canada by providing an opportunity for local nonprofit organizations such as the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, the Little Canada Recreation Association, the Little Canada Elementary School PTA, St. John's Church and School, other area churches, and many others to get involved in their community and show their civic pride. The Canadian Days Committee makes financial contributions to many local youth groups. They also support the City of Little Canada by raising tens of thousands of dollars to fund improvements at Spooner Park, including building the pavilion, lighting the park, paving the trails, installing the park sign, and constructing the maintenance garage. Some business sponsors have commented that the Canadian Days celebration and the business sponsor reception, hosted by the Festival Committee, have become a mini Chamber of Commerce. It presents local businesses with the opportunity to give back to their community and also provides an enjoyable forum for them to network and make connections.
Well, the Sister City program is something that every community should have, first of all. Certainly beyond the fact that you have an education and a cultural friendship that you can foster. There's economic development issues, economic benefits. There's also tourism benefits. It's just a wonderful way for communities to exchange the things that they know and best practices so that each city can benefit. But the friendship that we have with Little Canada is certainly special. This has been a friendship and an exchange that's happened at consistency and at a level that doesn't happen with any of our other sister cities. So we always say that Little Canada is special to us, and it is. There's more, I was just blown away the first time I was there to see how many Canadian flags flew on the Little Canada at Canada Days. That's more than in my own community. It was just really quite breathtaking.
The Canadian Days celebration is the very successful product of the twinning of these two cities. The festival provides an opportunity to honor and strengthen the friendship with our Canadian neighbors and celebrate our shared pioneer heritage. It has become a fundamental part of Little Canada's identity and a treasured summer celebration. Organized by its all-volunteer committee, Canadian Days has provided enjoyment for over 30 years, and hopefully for many more to come. If you are interested in learning more about Canadian Days or becoming involved in the Little Canada and Thunder Bay Sister City relationship, please contact the Little Canada Canadian Days Committee at www.canadiandays.org or the Thunder Bay Sister City Committee at www.thunderbay.ca. Don't forget your passport!